What is land banking? Let's learn the property development strategies of the pros while I massage myself, because today's gym day and I worked on my shoulders. If you're like 99% of the people that ask me this question, WTF is land banking. Land banking is simply buying a vacant piece of land for around this much in the hopes in many years later it will be worth this much. And the whole premise of this land banking strategy is you secure the land, and yes, every month you pay a holding cost of holding onto this land, right? Bam, repayment and repayment, in the hopes during this period the land has gone up by this much. And while you're knocked in the balls by these holding costs because your land is basically doing jack crap, well, you hope through, the ripple effect of other surrounding properties, it brings growth to that vacant land. Also, there is a potential rezoning by the council from, for example, R2 to R4 or Resi to commercial use, which can then get a DA to get it even more worth this value. Or through gentrification, for example, with Walleye Creek and Tempe, all the industrial sites around there become residential, it lifts the value of that land. Or through the 50-kilometer radius of this land that you purchased, there was important infrastructure added, for example, a train, like you saw in Castle Hill. Overall, land banking is a speculative move by property developers or wannabe property developers. While you're waiting for these things to happen, you're paying a holding cost of repayments in the hope that your land gets either sold to a bigger property developer for about 4 times the amount you bought it for, or you either sell it or you construct on top of it. Now, here's a hack I tell my clients. It's the common misconception of land banking. People always tell me, hey Q, land banking sounds fantastic. And, get a property for like this much and then it grows to this much. Yeah, I get it, but there's no freaking land. I can't see anything. You see here, you don't need to be a kingpin property developer to do land banking. For example, you can simply find homes, right? For example, over here, that is simply on a good street and it's sort of nearing the end of its use by date. So instead of always focusing, I need to find vacant land to do land banking. No, you just need to find a property that is sort of close to its use by date, like really run down, like really like a fibro house or really creaky house, right? And that property is still kind of livable, right? And the rent there is helping you pay the holding cost of keeping this property. And in the meantime of you doing that, you go and do your own DA, your development approval, to make sure that you have approval to, for example, knock it down and build whatever you want with it and hold on to that. And the great thing about land banking is, which some of my clients have been doing for the last 2 years, is rather than spending this much on a pre-built home, they're only using this much to buy the vacant piece of land. And then whilst this market is still like, construction is high, labor cost is high, inflation is high, high cost of living, they're just going to sit on that and wait for the market to get a bit softer. Then they'll do the construction at a cheaper price. But with this strategy, at least you've bought the land at this price, at this fixed cost, versus not doing anything and buying 2 or 3 years later, not at this price, but at this price, which increases the cost of the land and construction build. Now, before I end this video, I want to say land banking isn't for everybody. Do get independent financial advice. Speak to your broker, speak to your banker, speak to your solicitor. Do a feasibility study. Can you really afford the holding costs between when you buy the land and when you want to start building? There's a lot of holding costs. The land's doing jack crap while you're waiting for it. Jump in the comments. Let me know what you think. This feels so good.